All right, family. It's a special day in the neighborhood. A special day in the neighborhood. Our guest for the day, for the show, needs no introduction. But I do want to share with you that back in February, she celebrated 20 years in the industry. Grammy award winning artist Maya, internationally known, respected singer, songwriter, producer, musician, dancer, choreographer, actress, activist, and philanthropist. We want to welcome to the show. She's a superstar. Maya, how you doing today?
Hi, I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing blacknificent.
Good.
Really, doing good, doing good. Um, 20 years in the game. It seemed like it was just yesterday.
It was. And it goes by so fast. 22, actually.
Oh,
Woo.
wow. 22 years.
Yeah, 1998 was the first single. Goodness gracious.
Oh, wow. And so you got a new project that, and I'm looking at your bio, like you haven't stopped working. For y'all who don't know, this lady is staying busy, you grinding, but you got a new project out. If you don't mind, tell us about the song I Deserve.
Oh, I Deserve It is the latest single. It's produced by a guy named Mike Guy Mars out of 1500 and nothing, based in California. And the song is just all about self-love, leaving a situation that you don't belong in and treating yourself a little better.
Wow. Wow. And you getting ready to go on a tour, right?
Absolutely not. We're in the middle of a pandemic.
Oh, okay. All right. One of my people telling me she's ready to take off. She's busy.
I'm not going on a tour, but I am leaving where I am currently to go finish up an album.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But no touring yet.
All right. I mean, some people get it in. You know, I'm in Orlando, Florida, and they doing concerts and stuff.
Nope, not over here.
I'm not hanging in. I'm not hanging there. But tell us about your nonprofit. You started a nonprofit organization.
Yes, in 2005, I left California and returned to my hometown, Washington, D.C., and bought a house. But I made a promise that when I go home, I want to go back to teaching again, which was my very first job, and teaching in the arts. So TMATF, the Maya Arts and Tech Foundation was founded in 2005, and I became teacher, executive director. And I developed all the curriculum, but it's targeted toward inner city youth and ages 5 through 13. And that happens every summer.
Wow. That has to be rewarding for you.
It's always so rewarding when you can help others, especially in the hometown that birthed you, your stomping ground. So to see smiles on children's faces, but also hear great things from their parents and what it's done for their self-esteem. And just the belief in self is really important because these opportunities are really scarce in the hood, especially.
Right. Now, I checked you out on Instagram early today, and you live in a very healthy life there.
Yeah. Yeah, I posted some fruit today. That's not what I eat every day. I am vegan, but there's tiers to vegan life. So I conduct these challenges monthly, and I welcome everybody that follows me on social media to participate. And they get an introduction, but also a free starter guide from me because it's just done wonders for my entire life, spiritually, mentally, physically. People constantly ask me what my secrets are, but it's no secret. And it's really the vegan life, but mostly what you saw today, raw fruits and vegetables to stay hydrated and keep healthy.
How long you been a vegan?
6.5 years vegan.
Wow. How do you feel? You feel better?
I feel amazing. More energy, more mental clarity, more creative. I don't stop. I actually feel more energized than I felt when I was in my 20s. So my skin is clearer. I do look a lot more young than I did before. I was gaining some relationship weight prior to going vegan. It came off, but I just feel better, and I'm doing better.
Wow. Now, where'd you get all this information, this empowerment about being a vegan? Now, did that whole African Holistic Health by the late Dr. Lalea Africa helped you out?
Well, that's actually something that I was introduced to a couple years ago. I just started reading it this year. But veganism, I was vegetarian prior to being vegan. And I just said, I want to take it a step further. I have no clue what vegan life is, but I'm going to try it. And so when I committed to it, I just jumped in head first and then had to really understand what that was. And it was then the elimination of dairy and eggs. And prior to me going vegan, by the way, I was anemic as a vegetarian, which means that I had iron deficiency. So as soon as I went vegan, probably about a month or two in, I reversed my anemia. And I said, hey, there's some magic to this, because I started consuming more iron-rich foods and vegetables, but I also eliminated the dairy from my diet, the milk, the cheese, the ice creams, and started eating the plant-based versions of milk, cheese, ice cream. And what that does is eliminate mucus from your body, so that certain minerals and nutrients, et cetera, can actually be absorbed by your cells. And I think I was blocking that, but no longer anemic, and vegan life has just been good.
So if you're anemic, you heard it from Maya, become a vegan.
It works.
I'm almost there. I'm a pescatarian. It's hard. I'm slowly getting there.
Yeah,
baby steps. 13 years for pork, about 7 years for beef, a year for chicken, and I'm easing myself there. So, but I appreciate you sharing. Miss Katia Taylor says she looks so beautiful, looked like she never aged.
Definitely aged for sure. But time is an illusion, and you can really reverse aging and anything with what you put in your body and on your body, by the way.
Wow. I got someone who wants to ask you a question. He's a very unique individual. It's part of our mentorship program. And back in 2018, when Jay-Z and Beyonce started to give out these scholarships to kids around the country, he was the first recipient of the $100,000 scholarship from Jay-Z and Beyonce. And a good, humble kid who is in the second year at Morehouse University. And part of our mentorship program, we want to welcome Keyshawn Morgan to the conversation. Keyshawn, you there? You got to unmute your mic, Keyshawn. There you go. You there, Keyshawn?
I'm here. Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
we hear you.
Hello, Keyshawn. How are you?
Thank you.
Congratulations on your journey.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, you too. Thank you.
Go, Keyshawn. What's your question that you have for Maya? Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, it's breaking up a little bit on my end, but I heard you though. So my first question that I wanted to ask you is, can you like describe your experience? Just breaking into the entertainment industry. Would you say it was accepting? Because there's a lot of things that go on, especially with you being a Black woman. Like, how would you describe, just your experiences coming in and having your career?
Well, when I started, I was a teenager. I was 17 years old when I started recording my first album. And it's something that I was used to. I started recording my demos around 13, 14 in a friend of my dad's basement. I'd always been performing, by the way, since I was a little girl. So I wasn't new to a lot of things, but I think the newest thing breaking into the industry was interviews and DJ drops and touring. I didn't have a lot of expertise running my own sound checks, etc. So there are a lot of things that I had to learn, but also the business is completely different. The publishing aspect, obviously having a lawyer look over everything before you do anything, before you can even release a song. There were so many pieces of business that had to be handled. And so over time, I've learned that. And now my evolution is doing all that. I operate my own label as the CEO, but I also engineer as a sound engineer and record a lot of my albums, fund all of my albums. So I'm not just the artist, but I'm the label now. And it's been an education in itself. I'm also a lawyer. From time to time, I draft my own contracts and, do all the negotiations and then put my own management team together. So it's definitely a business that has taught me since I was a teenager to learn different skill sets. And so you don't necessarily have to just be one thing, especially when you're an entrepreneur. And it's been very, very rewarding. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Woo. Impressive. Good question, Keyshawn. You got another one?
Right, I do. And you kind of just like instilled in me like what I've been kind of learning these past couple months, because I'm a theater major at Morehouse, and so like one thing I'm learning as an artist, you have to wear a lot of different hats, and you have to be able to produce. You can't just be one thing. So you really just confirmed that for me. Thank you. Another question that I want to ask you is like for all the the young aspiring artists out there, what do you have any like pieces of advice on what they can do to just advance themselves, continue to perfect their craft during these rough times?
Yes, I do. So as you are in this chat with me, I'm in my own recording studio, and I learned that from a mentor that you need to always have a place of practice and production, just like an athlete. An athlete always has a place to go practice on the field before they show up to the game. There's a rehearsal room here where I can rehearse with my band to go get ready for tour, but it's also keeping expenses down. So I don't have to wait on anyone. And I'm always investing in myself as well as others, and it pays itself off. So this is a part of my investment in myself. Doesn't matter what business you're in or what your profession is, you always want to make investment in yourself. Live within or below your means at all times so that you can pour money not into things, but into what's going to allow you to have a very, very stable or successful life. And so for artists in particular, I really believe in purchasing your own equipment, having access to that equipment, learning how to use it, or, go to one of these programs in college for the sound engineering program and build your team, from a lot of people that are coming up with you, because it's very, very expensive it used to be anyways, to make music. But now that technology has advanced, you can do it yourself. And when you're a creative being like I am, I don't always want to call somebody and wait for them to come over, or have to pay anyone. So I really, really save a lot of money by learning, obviously, what we just talked about, new skill sets, and engineer my own albums sometimes. But I also work with other people. I build my team from the visual team to the audio team to the team that's on the road with me. Pull your people, go to schools, go to colleges, and you can really find out who's talented, or even online. And if they're local and you guys need to rehearse, you always have a place of rehearsal as well. So you're ready when you go out into the world. So investment in yourself is key.
Wow. Impressive. Okay. I'll tell you what.
Thank you.
You don't find too many people like you in the industry. You just loaded a book, a course.
Not really.
Yeah, you found your own boss.
Well, that was circumstance.
And you pick what songs are going to come out on your project.
Well, I come from the major label system, which is a beautiful system, and they are responsible for building my brand and all the hits. But, there was something that happened between the last label that I was with, and an album got leaked and shelved after it was released everywhere by accident. And I just decided to part ways instead of being in court and suing for money that I would have to pay for the whole lawsuit with. I just decided to go independent. And independent allowed me to learn all these things slowly. But it was circumstance that led me to stepping into a new space, which caused me to have to show up in new ways, not just an artist. So the label is Planet Nine. And it's been a beautiful ride.
A lot of folks are trying to get signed to record labels. Do you suggest they come out as an independent first?
I always say have your independent operation pop in first. So you come to the table not with an empty hand. Even if you want to get signed to a major record label, which is really important, if that's something that you want to do, it's not for everybody, but you're coming to the table with music that's produced, with your package of photos, maybe some visuals that are already shot right on your iPhone so that they understand what it is that you're trying to do, what your message is, what your mission is, what your sound is, what you want to say, instead of waiting for someone else to pay for that. But if you need financial assistance, that's what the major labels are for. However, you may have to wait in line a while. Plus, you have to do a very extensive, agreement in order to even put your first song out, because you're signing to an institution, basically, that's going to fund everything. That doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to come out and get all the support, but you have a better chance of establishing your brand, I would say, when you're aligned with the multi-million-dollar companies. But still come to the table with something to show for, and then still keep your independent operation for when those budgets are closed and they're not funding your recording anymore, which is why I say, hey, invest in your own equipment so you can always create. So that's what I would recommend.
Wow. Recently, early in the year before the pandemic, you went to Africa.
Last year.
That was on my bucket list for Christmas, but I ended up going to Ethiopia and Egypt. Couldn't get a flight back in time. But tell us about your trip to Seychelles and what it did for you.
Well, I went to Uganda first because we had a 2-hour concert there in November around Thanksgiving. And so December 1st, I headed over to Mauritius, and then from Mauritius, Seychelles, their neighbors.
You went to Mauritius too?
Yeah, spent probably 2.5 or 3 weeks out there as my first vacation of the year to start January off right. We shot a music video called The Truth. That shot is from the music video and it's out on my YouTube channel. But I did some, spiritual just healing, as I'd like to do every year, somewhere beautiful. But it was on the east of Africa, and it is still part of Africa, east of Madagascar, actually. And when I went there, I saw so many different cultures and religions living amongst each other peacefully. So you have a lot of Indians, Africans, Asians, very little Americans. You even have a Muslim culture there. And it's one of the most peaceful places I've been to in the world. Yeah.
Was that your first time to Africa?
No, my first time to Africa was in 2005. And I took my band over there with my dad. And we had a concert in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, Keyshawn can tell you a little bit about Africa. He's been there. But that's amazing what you've been able to do. And hearing that you was over there for 3 weeks, Mauritius and Seychelles, that's like paradise.
It's paradise. It really is. It really is. I cannot complain. It was beautiful.
So you married yourself?
In a music video, yes. Mm-hmm.
That was good. That was cool.
All about self-love,
Where you get this strength from?
I just love music. I just love music, and you keep going. And, obviously you have some fans and supporters, I like to call them, that have special requests and you want to keep going. But I'm a musical child. I grew up around music. My dad always had a band over. There was always performances or gigs, my dad would call them. He would have to go to. He still does it to this day. It's just running in the veins, in the blood. And I love entertainment, and I love bringing people together.
Wow. So tell me this, before we go, just a couple more questions, because I know we have a busy schedule. Who do you listen to? What artists do you listen to?
I'm old school. I listen to a lot of 70s bands and 90s R&B, but Mandrill, O'Brien, Peaches and Herbs, Rick James, Tina Marie, Prince, Stevie Wonder. The list goes on. I grew up in a vinyl household. Just straight 70s funk, a lot of 70s bands, but I love reggae. I love Peter Tosh, the Wailers, Bob Marley. That puts me in a different state of mind. Lots of peace. 90s R&B, SWV, Jodeci, Escape. Love harmonies as well. So it really, really, truly depends on what mood I'm in.
Keyshawn like that. He's Jamaican too, so he can relate to that.
Yes.
The
best food in the world.
Yeah. We got some comments online. People are chiming in. Brown Coco said, Maya is one of my favorite artists. I love her spirit. Angie Thompson, self-love. Selma Bryant in Atlanta says, beautiful, talented young lady. Kimberly Kelly says, I really respect independent artists. And Angie Thompson, Planet 9. They know about Planet 9. Kim Kelly said, you're the boss. And Sean Jackson up in Jacksonville, Florida said, thank you for your dedication in the industry. Jennifer Sharp, I'm sure she was probably mentioning about being a vegan. So she just might have to be one. Katia Taylor says she is so beautiful, looks like she never aged.
Oh,
they love you. We love you.
And I love them. You know, we're all family. So they keep me inspired and motivated, and I'm still going, and it always feels like it's a new beginning.
All right. You have, 2 websites that people can go to? I know about mayamaya.com. Is there another site?
It's just mayamaya.com. That's my only website. However, you know, if you are interested in booking meet and greets, you go to meetcandy.com. That's virtual meet and greets where I have conversations one-on-one. But I'm also on cameo.com, cameo.com. And that's where I can send you straight to your phone virtual messages, whether it's for a graduation, a wedding, a celebration, birthday. So a lot of these apps and platforms have been birthed in this pandemic so that we can all stay connected, since touring is kind of slowed down quite a bit. And those are the 3 sites, but I'm at Maya Planet 9 on social media.
So you've been staying safe, staying out of Rona's way?
My last physical show was in March, one day before the actual travel ban was put into place, and we were overseas. Oh my goodness. We made it back, but I have not entertained doing any shows in person just yet because I just want to be respectful of my family and not be, I don't know, unsafe out here. But also I've been doing virtual shows as well. There have been a lot of concerts and things that I've been a part of, whether it be TV One or the U.S. Navy, and a lot of campaigns that are raising money for charities during this time. So that's been cool because I've been able to be stationary, which is not something I'm used to.
Right.
But I've made do with it.
Right. You got any collaborations on any wish list collaborations going on? Anybody that you want to, do a project with?
A project? Oh, see, I haven't thought about a project. I've thought about, a song here or there. Yeah. I do, but that's a secret.
Okay. All right. What instrument you play?
Violin is what I grew up playing. So
wow.
I can say that I play violin. I can pick up a couple of other instruments and figure out some things, but I'm not an actual guitarist. I'm not a pianist.
Violin is skill. Keyshawn, you got a question for Maya before we go? Okay, we got a delay.
I have one last one actually. So, me and my family, we're huge fans. Listen to you all the time. One thing I'm pretty sure my mom would probably want me to ask you is like, do you have any favorite project of yours? Out of your extensive catalog that you have, like, is there any project or experience that just stood out that you really are passionate about or love the most?
The one I just finished. That's not out yet, but as far as what's out,
I like that. I like good answer.
The one maybe the one that's out right now that's my favorite is Smooth Jones. It's actually an independent release, and I released that one in 2016. It's all traditional R&B with a little contemporary twist here and there, but it's just straight true to R&B and a lot of 70s and 90s influences in that too.
Well, last question. The song "I Deserve It." What made you? What are you talking about? Speaking of,
I Deserve It. Well, that is a song that many of us can relate to. It's about exiting stage left from a situation you don't know is going to work for you. And you know now that you don't belong in. And so now exiting that situation, you have to practice some self-love. And it's also taking accountability in this song about what led you there and the fact that it was on both of you guys, you know, and abusing the chances to get it right. So it's taking full accountability of making the decision to be there, but also exiting and saying, hey, now I got to fall back in love with myself. Let's get it right. Let's get it together, Maya. And that's what that song is about.
Wow. Thank you so much. Appreciate you making our time to kick with us. You didn't have to. I realized that, you know. But
by the way, anybody tuning in, I'm not sure if you guys were given an announcement as far as what time I was going to be here, but today is called a press day for me, and we've had some connection issues, which has delayed the other interviews, which has caused me to be late for this.
The train reaction.
Oh, yeah, it's a domino effect. So I'm usually on time, but I can't control what the internet is doing, and, you know, things go overtime. So I apologize.
I told myself I wasn't going to eat until I interviewed you. So I'm good. I'm good now. I'm going to eat now. I was going to do this little diet thing until the end of the day. So I feel good now. I can go eat and go hit a buffet up or something.
Hey, now the best part of the day. There
you go. Thank you so much. Comments are still coming in, Maya. It's like I want to get them on the stage, but you got a lot of people chiming in. Eddie Sanders, who is also a singer in Michigan, my hometown of Muskegon, Michigan, said encourage yourself. Angie Thompson, amen, amen. Bob Acker, who does the play-by-play for one of the best football programs in the country, Muskegon Big Red, said awesome interview. So people are chiming in. Make sure y'all pick up her new project and go online and just buy her whole catalog. I know there's a lot of stuff there.
Or stream it for free.
There you go. Spotify.
YouTube is free, you know, but if you're already with Spotify or Tidal, then it's on there too. The latest album is TKO. That's out right now. And then I've just released a couple of different singles this year. Space and Time, You Got Me Part 2, I Deserve It, and Without You are the latest.
Gregory Burt, he's down. I don't know what city he's in now. He said great interview. And also L.A. Richard, you're so pretty, Maya. I love your song, Falling.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
You got a comment, Wave from Ghana, Accra, Ghana.
Hey, Ghana.
Yeah. Have you been to Ghana yet?
Actually, let me tell you. So you asked me about Mauritius and Seychelles. I was actually supposed to head to Ghana because it's on the way back to the U.S., but you have to have a visa. And it just took forever for the visa to get processed that I was not able to go into Ghana legally anyway. So I chose to go east instead of going west back home. Wow. And that's what led me to Mauritius because it's right across the water from Uganda, which is East Africa.
Wow. Yeah, you would love Ghana. It was the year of return last year.
Yep.
A lot of folks was there. We take kids there for free every year. So, and Keyshawn's been one of those kids. Lamont Coleman said, yes, honey. So folks are coming in. Support our dear sister. Thank you so much, Maya.
Appreciate you. And thank you for your patience today.
Okay. I was drinking my water. I was good.
You're like, look,
it gave me more prep time. I was able to pull up more pictures and stuff. Let me do more prep time and get this right.
Oh, man.
Peace and blessings to you, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Back at you. Okay.